When did you realize your best friend was fake? I was showering when suddenly clumps of my hair started falling into the shower drain. I instantly told my best friend Amelia to come over that afternoon, and when I showed her, she tilted her head and said, "Okay, that's definitely weird, but it's probably just stress. You've been studying for finals like crazy." She had a point. I'd been pulling all-nighters for 2 weeks straight. I convinced myself Amelia was right. It was just stress. It would grow back. By the next week, I was finding hair everywhere. But that wasn't even the worst part, because every morning my teeth would look even more yellow than the day before, like really yellow. Even though I was brushing twice a day and using whitening strips, my smile looked dull and almost brown in some spots. "Are you feeling okay?" Hugo asked that night, and something in his voice was different. And despite eating just a box of Tic Tacs every day, I'd gained 5 pounds in 2 weeks. My jeans wouldn't button. My face looked puffy. When I cried to Amelia about it, she came over immediately with this huge bag from Whole Foods. "Okay, intervention time. I've been researching and I think your hormones are all messed up." She pulled out her blender and started throwing in spinach, berries, and these protein supplements. Trust me, my mom swears by this stuff. Soon, Hugo started making excuses not to hang out, saying he was busy with his internship applications. 2 weeks later, my nails started cracking down the middle and peeling off in layers. I'd gained another 10 pounds. I made an appointment with my doctor and she did blood work, then called me back in with this expression that made my stomach drop. "With symptoms this severe, we need to rule out some things." Like what? "I don't want you to panic, but we need to check for any masses." I spent the next week getting blood drawn and scans done, Googling my symptoms at 3 a.m. Hugo's texts got shorter and shorter. Amelia came to every appointment, held my hand. When the doctor called me back, I was sure she was about to tell me I was dying. Instead, she looked confused. Everything came back normal. Thyroid, hormones, no masses, no abnormalities. Hugo broke up with me over text. "I need space. This isn't working for me anymore." Blocked on everything. Amelia came over with takeout and tea from a wellness store. It's supposed to help with inflammation. My aunt swears by it. The tea tasted bitter, but I was too exhausted to care. Amelia stayed over and made the tea every morning and night, always insisting on brewing it herself. Then my mom said something weird. "Amelia looks really good lately." I ran into her at Trader Joe's and her skin was glowing. Her hair looked so thick. I thought about it and decided to test the waters. I told her I was doing a juice cleanse and couldn't have outside food for 3 days. Amelia looked annoyed for a second. "Are you sure that's a good idea? You need nutrients." Doctor's orders. For 3 days, I didn't drink her smoothies or tea. And for 3 days, nothing got worse. The hair loss didn't speed up. I didn't gain weight. My skin stayed bad, but didn't get worse. On day 4, Amelia showed up with a bottle of vitamin water. "This is just vitamins and water. Totally clean for your cleanse." She was pushy about it. I took it. And the second she left, I poured it into a jar and took it to a lab. They called with the results 3 days later. The woman's voice was careful, almost scared. "If you've been ingesting this regularly, you need to see a doctor immediately." I Googled the compounds while she was still talking. Hair loss medication. Another one caused a laxative effect. My best friend since 8th grade had been systematically destroying me for months. I sat in my car staring at the lab results until my hands stopped shaking enough to drive. When I got to her apartment, I didn't knock, just barged in. She was sitting on her couch scrolling when I walked in. "Hey," she said, smiling. "I was just about to text you. I found this new. We need to talk." I held up the lab results. Her smile didn't move, but something flickered in her eyes. "What's that?" "You know what it is." For a second, neither of us moved. Then her face changed. The warmth drained out of it like someone had flipped a switch. "How did you?" She stopped herself. "You tested it." "Why?" My voice cracked. "Why would you do this to me?" She stared at me for what felt like forever. Then she laughed, but it wasn't her normal laugh. "Do you really want to know?" I couldn't speak, couldn't move. Amelia stood up slowly. "Fine. You want the truth? Here it is. Full story on channel, link below.